Good afternoon, everybody. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean. Things just got real bright in here. The sun just came out. I guess somebody knew it was time for yoga. All right, so I'm going to mess around with the lights a little bit. I'm going to bribe the bird. All you need today is your mat. If you have some blocks, you're welcome to bring some. I'm not really going to guide anything that really needs blocks or straps. We're just going to have a great time. Right, Fred? Okay. Well, you look very happy also. Yoga time needs snacks. Snacks for you. Snacks for you. I'm sorry it's so bright, everyone. I made them not because it's been raining for 2 days. Thank you. Just waiting for that drill to come so I can put up my awesome, amazing curtains. We're just gonna do the best that we can today. Oh my gosh, breath. It's 11:15, so let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start today on our backs in Savasana, in a little corpse pose, if you will. So go ahead, take your time, lay down on your mat, or whatever space that you've created for yourself. Try to start with your heels close together. Allow your toes to fall apart. However, if this is too much pressure on your back, if you're having any sort of low back pain, think about bending those knees and tenting your feet. And just take a couple moments right now to slow your breath down, start to clear your mind, and bring your focus just to your breath. That's the most important part of today's class. Moving through your breath. Allowing your breath to guide your movement, but not allowing your movement to be inhibited. Or your movement to inhibit your breath, I should say. If you want to set an intention for today's class, now is a great time to do so. But remember, this is just a yoga practice. It's not yoga perfect. And we're just here to move our bodies, to clear our mind. So if nothing else, focusing on your breath and just being kind to yourself. Whatever happens today happens, and being here is enough. And whatever you do is whatever you were meant to do for today. So just take joy in being here and showing up. Let's start off with wind removing pose. You always want to make sure that you start wind removing pose with your right leg. So for this posture, I'm going to look like I'm using my left leg, but I'm actually using my right, and throughout the rest of the class we'll mirror each other. I want you, before you even lift your legs up, to once again walk your feet to the center line of your body, of your mat. And start to draw that lower belly in, pressing your back down towards the floor. You can even have your arms by your side to begin with, keeping that lower back down. Then draw your right knee up and pull it out to the side. And maybe you start to roll a little bit off of that left glute or your left back area comes off of the mat. As you take hold of that right knee, start to melt your lower back down towards the mat again. Even drawing your shoulders down and away from your ears. Pull your right knee up towards your shoulder. Stretch your elbows down towards your hips. Keep your chin slightly tucked. Oh my gosh. Chin slightly tucked towards your chest to get as much of the back of your neck on the floor. And then once again, draw that belly button back towards your spine. So as you're pulling your knee in towards your chest, you're also creating some pressure, pressing your shin into your hands, palms, belly tight, and change. Gently release your hands. Make sure there's no flinging as you relax and release your right leg down to the floor. Pull your belly in, glue your lower back down, take your time drawing your left leg up, pull it out to the side, interlace all 10 fingers underneath the ball of your foot, then draw that knee back towards the center line and roll back onto your right shoulder, onto your right hip slash glute slash muffin top of your lower back. All right, now we start to pull. So begin by pulling your knee in towards your chest and stretching your elbows down towards the floor. But create a little bit of opposite pressure so that you have to engage your biceps, a little squeeze of your chest. Once again, drawing that belly in. First we worked our ascending colon. Now we're working our descending colon, which is why you always want to work right side and then left side. Change, relax, and release both legs down. And then we'll draw both legs up. You can bring them up one at a time or both at the same time, depending on how strong you're feeling. Work to squeeze those knees in towards each other. Keep your feet relaxed side by side. Stretch your elbows down to the bottom of the mat. Chin tucked towards your chest. If you can even interlace your fingers here, and then look up to that little diamond shape that you created between your hands, palms, or that's happening, that triangle between your thighs and your knee. And change. Legs down, arms down. Take a moment right here in your Savasana. We've got one more stretch on our backs to begin with. We're going to go with a little bit of a scissors kick, finding a stretch on the hamstrings as well. So I want you to take your time, bend both of your knees, place the soles of your feet on the floor to begin with, and then draw that lower belly back towards your spine. And then we're going to send one leg at a time up towards the ceiling. Awesome. Work to straighten those legs out as much as possible. Just take a couple breaths right here. Still gluing that lower back down onto the mat. All right, we're going to inhale, and if it's within your wheelhouse, lift those shoulders up off of the floor. One hand is going to come and reach behind your right leg, either at the calf or at the ankle. Give yourself 2 little breaths and then switch. Working to get that opposite heel as close down towards the floor as possible. The more that you lift that upper body, the more you're going to work those upper abs. Use your breath. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Bring both legs up. Lower your head back down. Let's give ourselves just a couple little crunches here, just in case you didn't lift that upper body up before. Just working to engage those abs. I want you to bring your fingertips close by your ears. Does it feel like I lied when I said there was only treats and no tricks in this workout? All right, so fingertips just by your ears, so there's not actually any pressure. It's actually going to make it a little bit harder to lift your upper body up. Belly in tight. Inhale up for 2. Exhale down for 2. We'll do 10. Up, down. Up, down. You got it. Really think about keeping that lower back glued down to the floor. Halfway. Nice and slow for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Draw both of those knees back in towards your chest. Gonna squeeze out all the junk in our spine before we sit ourselves up. So go ahead, keep that right knee in towards your chest. Extend your left leg out. Take your left hand, grab hold the outside of your right leg. Extending right hand out to the side. Just roll over onto your left and turn towards your right shoulder. Coming into a nice little spine twist. Come back to your breath. Notice if you came into a twist that was too deep for you and maybe you find it a little hard to breathe, you can always roll over and bring your back a little more towards the floor, or take that extra twist out of your neck and look in the same direction of your knee. Enjoy 2 more relaxed breaths right here. And change. Slowly roll over onto your back. Keep that right knee bent. Go ahead. Bring that left leg to meet it. Feel free to give yourself some circles right here. Just massage your lower back. First in one direction, and then in the opposite direction. Beautiful. Then keep that left knee drawn up towards the chest. Extend your right leg out. Plant it on the floor. Take your right hand. Grab hold on the outside of the left thigh. Extend your left arm and slowly, gently roll to your right side. Once again, just finding the stretch that feels good for you. Take your time coming into the stretch. Feel free to gently come out of the stretch as needed. Once again, using your breath as your guiding force in today's practice. Notice if you're creating any extra tension in your head, in your mouth, in your neck or shoulders, and release your upper body onto the mat as much as possible. Take your last 2 breaths in the spine twist. And then take your time, slowly, gently roll back onto your back. Extend your left leg out in front of you. We're going to inhale those arms up overhead, palms facing up towards the ceiling. You can open up your feet a little bit wider, about hips width distance apart. We're going to do some roll-ups right here. So depending on how strong your lower abs are, you might find that you need to bend your knees and press your heels into the floor to find a little bit more support for that lower back as well. Maybe we're going to work with a nice 5-second count. Draw your belly in right now. The more that you really engage your abdominal core and suck your stomach in, the better that all of your crunches are going to feel. It's going to take the pressure out of your neck and whatnot. Do your best not to swing your arms up to lift your body up. Keeping those biceps by your ears, we're going to rise up like the dead. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Just keep your shoulders stacked on top of your hips and stretch your fingers, and then lower. 2, 3, 4. Arms come back up overhead. I turned it into an 8 count. I know. Just think about moving nice and slow, finding a C curve at the top, And then lowering yourself down one vertebrae at a time. Thriller, thriller night. Do, 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 do. That's probably all I can do of the Thriller song without someone tagging this video. Okay, let's go ahead and do 3 more. Nice and slow, belly tight. Working on that inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, stretch. Last one, inhale down. Arms up overhead. While we're here, let's just find a nice total body stretch. We'll go for a banana stretch. So keeping your hips right where they are, go ahead and walk your legs as far over to the right side as possible, and then go ahead, bring your hands to meet it. I know we were gonna sit up right away, but like, why not find this big stretch on our sides before we get up and get a little bit more intense in our workout. So you should be feeling a big stretch as you're opening all throughout the left side of your body. Can you even draw those shoulder blades a little bit together underneath of you to create some space of shoulders away from ears? And then release, walk your feet back to center, bring those hands back to center. Might even need to relax your arms down by your side for just a second. And bring them back up, walk everything all the way over to the left. As much as it feels good for you today. Bring your upper body to join. Creating a big stretch this time throughout the right side. Once again, as we start to come towards the end of our banana stretch, squeeze those shoulder blades together, draw that belly back in. Create the deepest side stretch you can. And change, walk everything back to center. Relax your arms down by your side. Let's roll over onto our side. Come into fetal position for just a second. Beautiful, and then press yourself up. We're gonna come up into tabletop. Tabletop. As we get here, I want you to just give yourself a couple of cat-cows. Really rounding that back like an angry Halloween cat. And then come back through like another angry Halloween cat. So many angry Halloween cats. How come there's no friendly Halloween cats? I bet if there was a Halloween dog, it would be friendly. All right, let's take a nice relaxation moment here. Your choice if you'd like to do a wide-legged or a closed-legged child's pose. Just start to walk or send your glutes back towards your heels. Walk those hands, palms forward. Allow your head to relax down towards the mat. You can do a little bit more of an active shoulders here, pressing your hands or finger pads into the floor like a spooky child's pose. I guess that would be like the Malachi of children's poses. Children of the Corn are the creepiest kids that I can think of. If off the top of your head you think of a horror movie with a different super creepy little kid, because, you know, second up in my head is just how evil Macaulay Culkin's character was in that movie that, like, I don't know, was that even a horror movie? He was just really bad. I'm not talking Home Alone. I can't think of what it's called. But I'm sure somebody else knows what I'm talking about. Good times, good times. All right, let's go ahead and pull ourselves all the way through. We're gonna pull ourselves all the way through. We're gonna make a nice little pillow
with our hands and just relax our head down. And from here, I just want you to shake your glutes a little bit, left and right, right and left. Just going to do a very gentle warm up of that upper back. Then we're going to open up those hips.
And eventually we're going to stand up. It's going to be awesome.
Okay. So I want you to go ahead and bring your hands, palms, in line with your chest. So your thumb is in line with the top of your chest, and the top of your fingers are in line with your shoulders. Sending those elbows back behind you. We're not actually going to lift ourselves up to begin with, but I do want you to just press your hands, palms into the floor. You can keep your nose grazing on your mat or towel, or you can have a little bit of a lift of your head, but we're just working to squeeze those shoulder blades together and just practice getting a little bit of pressure into your hands, palms, and also getting your fingertips involved as well. Keep pressing those hands down, keep squeezing. Take one more nice deep inhale. And on your exhale, we're going to lower ourselves down, stretch our hands forward, just totally release. Let's activate our mid-back, low back just a little bit here as well between these. So squeeze your glutes. Allow those kneecaps to lift up off of the floor. Draw your shoulders down your back. Take a deep inhale. Lift up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower yourself down. Beautiful. Go ahead. Bring those hands, palms back in line with your chest. Elbows pointing back, or maybe a little up towards the ceiling like your grasshopper's legs. Relax and release those shoulders down and away from your ears. So really seating your shoulder blades down your spine. Find a little bit of a squeeze of your abdominal core. Maybe even a gentle squeezing of your glutes, but no need to really lift those kneecaps off the floor. Just press those hands, palms down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and release it forward. Shake it out for just a second. Squeeze it back together. Take a deep inhale. Lift up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower yourself down one more time, each direction. Bring those hands, palms back in line with your chest. Stretch your elbows down towards the floor. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Not lifting up just yet, but we'll get to do a couple little mini baby cobra flows as soon as we finish this up in 3, 2, 1. Extend those hands, palms forward. Shake it out for just a second, then squeeze your glutes. Shoulders roll down those back. Take a deep inhale. Lift it all up for 5, 4. Can you lift up higher? 2, 1. Slowly lower yourself down. Take a moment. Make that little pillow with your hands. And once again, place your forehead on it. Bend your knees and windshield wipe your feet. Right and left, left and right. Just relieving any tension or discomfort that built up in that lower back. Now we're just going to give ourselves a couple of little mini baby cobra flows before we press ourselves up. All right, so bringing your hands, palms back in line with your chest, fingertips touching with your shoulders. If you tap those shoulders down towards the floor, I want you to draw those elbows back. Take a deep inhale. This time, lift your chest, not too much weight or pressure in your hands. Slowly lower down, eyes, nose down towards the mat. Lift yourself up, roll up, eyes up, chin up, exhale down. Take your time. Do 2 more in your own time. Squeezing those glutes, pressing the top of your feet into the floor, and having an active posterior chain is going to help you to really find some mobility in the upper body. Last one. Beautiful. Press into your hands, palms. I want you to take the opposite variation of whatever you did for child's pose last time, if you can remember. If you went for open leg this time, go for a little bit of closed leg. If you went for closed leg, go for open leg. And if you don't remember, just do whatever feels right for your body today. Feel free to take a bend of your elbows, even with your arms forward, just to find a little relaxation in your shoulders. Awesome. Then walk your hands in. Come on back up into tabletop. And from here, we're just going to lift ourselves up. Yay. All right. So with your hands, palms right here at your waist, you're going to step your right leg forward. Bam. And bring the sole of the right foot to the floor. Staying lifted here, instead of coming down, we're just going to hinge forward at our hips. But we're going to be a little bit more active. So instead of having that left leg, top of the foot down on the floor, I want you to tuck those toes under. And we'll find a little bit more activation in our calf, even in the quad, by being upright. So make sure that you're not rotating out towards the back leg, keeping those hips squared forward. Keeping this lift of your chest. Let's go ahead, inhale those arms up. Exhale, cactus those arms. Inhale, arms up. Find a nice lift. Exhale, cactus arms. One more time. Inhale, up. Cactus arms. And from here, we're just gonna bring our hands back to our waist and gently send it back. So if you can, still keeping that tuck of your left toes under, shifting your hips back, keeping a lift of your chest here though. If you need to, you can always place your hands on your thigh, and if you're really feeling unbalanced, you can bring those hands towards the floor. But we're doing our best. We're challenging our core a little bit more to stay upright. Keep that belly nice and tight. And let's go ahead and change, just bringing it forward. Back into that nice big hip opener. Hanging out here for a couple of breaths. And bring it back. Flexing those toes back towards your face as best as you can. So you can hinge forward to feel more of a stretch in your hamstring, but you're not looking to round down like you might have if you just put your fingers to the floor. You're thinking about bringing that belly towards the thigh first, squeezing those shoulder blades together like we had down on the floor, and a nice flat back. One more time, let's bring it forward into that hip opener. Maybe going a little bit deeper than you did before. And change, bring it back in, untuck your left toes, bring your right leg to meet with the left, and let's just sit back for a moment in kneeling, the best that you can in kneeling. Just come back to your breath. Finding a nice little stretch on the top of our ankles here as well, with our toes pointing directly behind us. And change. Go ahead, lift yourself up. We're going to get the other side. So this time bringing that left foot forward. Make sure, I know we didn't say it on the last side, but I hope you remember that as you shift forward to open up the hips, you want to make sure that that knee is still in the direction of your big and second toe, not going past that toe. You might need to wiggle your foot a little further forward. All right, from here, let's inhale those arms up, thumbs towards the back of the room, shoulders release down away from your ears. Take a big inhale, stretch up. Exhale, cactus those arms, options for a little mini upper back bend. Inhale up. Cactus down. Still finding this opening of the right hip as well. Last time, inhale up. Exhale down. Beautiful, float those fingers back up towards the ceiling. Nice and wide, bring them down towards your sides. We're gonna shift back. Take your time shifting back.
Once again, either keeping that chest nice and lifted, flexing your toes back to your face. You might still find you need to kick that left heel forward a little bit more. Remember, if you're hinging forward, you're doing so with as flat of a back as you can. One more big breath here. And let's go ahead, shift it forward once again into that big hip opener. You know, we're going to hit the back one more time and hit the front once again to finish before we'll stand up. Think about shifting that left hip back, right hip forward. Get your two hips in one line squared with the top of your mat. Change. Keep that belly in. Keep squeezing those shoulder blades together. Back is flat and engaged. Flex those toes back to your face as best that you can. Take one more big breath here. And then slowly, gently move forward. Last of your hip openers. Great. Go ahead, bring your fingers down on the mat this time. We're going to tuck. Oh my gosh, I forgot to tuck my right toes under. I hope that you didn't. Well, honestly, I couldn't tuck my right toes under because that's my left foot that I hurt. But hopefully you remembered. Sorry if I forgot to mention it because I know I did. All right. Now we're going to tuck those back toes under. We're going to send our back leg back. Take a moment right here in your plank. Belly nice and tight, squeeze those shoulder blades together, find some length through the crown of your head, eyes forward of your fingers. Take a deep inhale and send your hips up towards the ceiling. Bend your knees. Here in down dog, bringing your belly towards your thighs. Let's get some movement of our head, so look forward with your eyes and look back towards your knees or toes. Look all the way forward. Look all the way back. Come back to where your head just feels relaxed. Shake it a little bit. No. Side to side. And then let's go ahead. Walk your feet up to your hands or walk your hands up to your feet. And we'll just take a moment right here in a nice little dangle. You can feel free to bend your knees as much as you need to bring a little bit more weight into your heels. As opposed to just into the balls or tips of your feet. You don't want to get any numbness in your toes. If you want more of a stretch on the back of the legs, still grounding through your heels and the balls, you can see that I even have my toes gently lifted right here. Don't look up if you weren't already looking though. Awesome. Let's slowly, gently rise up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale those arms up overhead at the top. And then exhale, relax your arms down by your side. How are we doing time-wise? All right. Let's do a quick little half moon hands to feet pose. And then we will get in a little sun salutation before we lay back down on our backs for Savasana. All right, so starting with our heels, toes touching each other. Inhale your arms up overhead sideways. At the top, clasp your hands, palms together, interlace your fingers, release index fingers, keep those thumbs crossed, and a nice tight grip. Squeeze those shoulder blades down and back. Create some space of shoulders away from ears. Squeeze your glutes, press your hips forward. Take a deep inhale and lift up from the waist. No movement of your shoulders up towards your ears. Grounding your feet through the floor. Stretch up, and on your exhale, slowly bend your body down to the right. No crunching down on the right side. No need to get anywhere super fast. Using each of your breaths to inhale, lift up, and exhale, lean a little bit more towards the right. If you were against a wall, you'd even be working to get that left shoulder back against the wall. So you're nice and open, chest is open. Squeeze those hands, palms together a little bit tighter, especially if you feel stuck. Take a deep inhale, push your hips over to the left and push. And inhale, lift yourself back up. We'll be kind. Stretch up towards the ceiling. Exhale, relax your arms down by your side. Inhale, turn your hands, palms forward and bring them right back up. Ground those feet to the floor. Relax those shoulders down away from your ears. Glutes squeezed. Again,
hips forward. Take a deep inhale, lift from your waist, and on your exhale, slowly, gently come down to the left without bending your elbows or your knees. Keep pushing your hips, to the right. Keep pushing your hips to the left beyond your flexibility, creating that tremendous stretching feeling, opening up your chest. So this time you want to make sure that that right shoulder's not collapsing down towards the floor, that it's opening up, squeezing that right shoulder blade towards the left. Squeeze your hands, palms together. Use your breath. Take a deep inhale. On your exhale, push and stretch. And inhale, come up towards the center. Stretch those fingertips up. Exhale, relax them down by your side once more. Inhale, arms up overhead sideways. We got a back bend coming up right now. So do your best. Even if you don't think you have a back bend in your practice, I want you to just look up towards the ceiling. So press your heels into the floor, squeeze your glutes, hips, everything forward, and stretch your eyes, nose, chin up towards the ceiling as high as feels comfortable to you. If you can see your fingers, if you can see towards the back of the room already, keep squeezing those glutes. Take a deep inhale. Lift your chest, sternum up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, start to bring your hands back. Where your eyes go, your body follows. So keep inhaling, lifting up from the waist, no crunching in that lower back. Finding a back bend from the upper back, keeping weight in your heels. Squeeze your glutes, hips forward as you lean back. More back. Way back. If you see it with your eyes, touch it with your fingers, and slowly, gently lift yourself up. Stretch up towards the ceiling, pull your belly in. Exhale, rain your fingers down towards the floor, and then bend one knee and then the other. Just create some movement in your hips. You're going to take a big forward fold right here. Bend your knees as much as you need to reach back. See if you can step on your heels from behind. If you can't step on your heels, can you interlace grab your opposite elbow, or just press your forearms against the back of your calves. As you melt your belly on your thighs, you'll feel a little opening of your shoulders this time. Stretching your elbows back behind you, still relaxing, shoulders away from your ears. Take one more deep inhale. And slowly, gently lift yourself all the way up. At the top, relax your arms down by your side. All right, let's come into our nice little mini flow. We're gonna start right here in mountain. So inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale, come on down into a forward fold. Inhale up into a half lift. Exhale, come on down, and then step or jump out into your plank. I'm going to come a little more to the top of my mat and step out. Coming into plank pose. Take a deep inhale, exhale, maybe knees come down, lower yourself into your chaturanga. Inhale into an up dog. Roll over your toes, exhale into a down dog. We're going to stay here for just a couple of breaths. Get ready to use your big inhale to step or jump up towards the top of your mat. Take that big forward fold. Inhale all the way up to the ceiling. Go ahead, relax your arms down by your side. Let's do that same thing again, 2 more times. So starting right here in mountain, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, belly tight, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, squeeze shoulder blades together, find length. Exhale, plant your hands and step or jump back into your plank. Inhale, knees can bend as you come on down into your push-up. Exhale into up dog. Inhale, roll over your toes, come into down dog. And hang out here for a couple of breaths. Feel free to shake your head, yes, no, left, right. Get ready to move on your next inhale. Step or jump up towards the top of the mat, forward fold. Big exhale into that forward fold. Inhale, reach all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, relax your arms down by your side. Let's go again one more time, starting right here in mountain, feet side by side. Inhale, arms up overhead. Draw that belly in. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands down on the floor, coming into your forward fold. Inhale up into a half lift. Find some length. Flat back. Squeeze shoulders. Exhale back into your forward fold. Step or jump back into your plank. Bend your knees. Exhale. Come on down into your push-up. Inhale into your up dog. Exhale as we roll over toes into our down dog. Hang out here for just a couple breaths. Get ready to move on your inhale. Step or jump back up to the top of your mat. Exhale into a forward fold. Slowly, gently inhale all the way up. This time, bring your hands, palms together to heart center as you exhale. Nice. Take a moment right here. Just close your eyes, grounding into your mat, into your mountain. Keep those hands, palms pressed together. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale once again, swan dive down to the mat. Step or jump back into your plank. Hang out here for just a couple breaths. Squeezing shoulder blades together. Go ahead, relax and release your knees down to the floor. Send your hips back to your heels. Take another moment in a child's pose of your choice. We get a nice little shoulder stretch before we come into Savasana. So lift your hips off of your heels. Keep your right arm forward. Take your left hand and just weave it underneath of the right. Bringing your left temple to the floor. Left shoulder can come to the mat. Just relaxing in your breath. You can bend your right arm if you need to. Even bringing your right hand underneath of your shoulder for a little support. And change. You can extend both hands in front of you, and this time bringing your left hand underneath. Right hand, right ear to the mat. Either keeping that left hand extended or bringing it underneath of your shoulder for a little bit of support. Doing so takes the stretch out of this left shoulder and brings a little bit more activation into that back again. Awesome. Let's go ahead and press ourselves back up into tabletop. Give yourself a couple cat-cows. And then as you're ready, we're going to go ahead and shift over onto our backs, laying down on the back. For our final Savasana, we've got 3 minutes together here for final Savasana. Feel free to open your arms as wide as you want, open your legs as wide as you want. Reminder, if you're feeling any tension on that back, just bend your knees, bring your feet a little wider on your mat. Tent those knees together to find some support. Or even placing something underneath of your knees to truly just relax and release and not even need to think here in Savasana, in corpse pose. But keep in mind that this is a posture. Bring as much focus and attention to your corpse pose as you did to everything else that you did today. And the intention right now is stillness. How still can you be? If you're really quiet and you focus on your breath, what can you feel? Where can you feel your blood flowing? Can you even hear your heartbeat? You're welcome to stay here in this final Savasana for as long as continues to honor you and your body today. However, if you would like to close off practice together, keep your eyes closed, take a little wiggle of your fingers and your toes. Take your time and let's make our way back to a seated position. Maybe rolling over onto your side. And then pressing yourself up. Still eyes closed, still with intention, focusing inwards on yourself and your breath. Go ahead, bring your hands, palms to the center of your chest as you finish your practice by honoring and acknowledging yourself. Thank yourself for making this time for you and your mental and physical health today. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that we did, please reach out. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. If you are celebrating, I hope you have a very happy Halloween. As always, I encourage you to continue to think good thoughts and speak good words, do good deeds, eat good foods, and every day nourish yourself from the inside out. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.